Hello and welcome to Smile and Spread a Little Joy. I'm Deborah, the Smile Lady, and SMILE is an acronym. Support, motivate, invest, love, and educate. And I truly believe that everybody created was born to smile. It's what you do with it. And what is your smile is what you love doing so much. You would do it even if you did not get paid. For instance, you've been probably doing it ever since you're about 6 or 7 years old. And it's up to each and every one of us, especially our grandmothers, to nurture that gift. Now, I believe that you play to get smart. I really believe that if you can afford it, your children should stay home until they're about 6 years old, till you know what their smile actually is before they go to school and get influenced by others. It is our job as the gardeners of our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren to nurture that smile. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Did you know that you would not raise a cactus like you would a rose? Yep. Every smile is different. And it takes a village to nurture that smile. So if anybody knows me, they know that nobody sits in this hot seat unless they have a smile to share. And today, oh boy, we have a grandmother here, proud of her grandchildren. But we're not going to talk about the grandchildren. We're going to talk about her smile and what makes her smile. So Ms. Collins will tell you what she does, how she smiles, and how she's going to pass this on to the next generation. So without any further ado, from one smile lady to another, we're going to welcome Miss Collins.
Thank you.
Oh, welcome, welcome. When I saw your smile and knew you were a grandmother, poof, 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 my heart started pounding. So basically, it's all about you now and what we can do as grandparents to nurture the smiles of the future generation. So the first question is going to be about you. What is it you love doing so much you would do it even if you did not get paid?
Well, I'm an actor by profession, and because I love children and really want to be involved in children in communities that don't have a lot of resources, don't have a lot of income, I would love to bring the arts to children in a way that would expose them to that. I think it's so important to have the arts, not just acting, but all of the arts. And I think that because our schools are not doing that anymore to a very large degree, I think we community members need to step up and try to fill that void.
Especially grandparents. Grandparents, we are parents with erasers on it. Whatever mistakes we made with ours, we could correct it with the grandbabies. So anyway, what we're going to do here is talk about you're acting now, and we're going to bring that back, but you sound like you have a New York accent.
Oh, I do? Oh, my goodness, you can tell.
I'm from New York. I was born in the Manhattan Jewish Memorial Hospital. There you go.
All right, I was born in Sydenham.
Sydenham. Now, I've never heard of Sydenham, and I'm from New York.
It was in Harlem. I was born and raised in Harlem.
Okay, good.
Still have family in New York.
Okay, and how long have you been here in California?
My husband and I moved out here in '93.
Oh, you a newbie.
So, yeah. I'm a newbie.
A newbie.
Yes. I still call myself a New Yorker, because you can never take that.
And that accent is not going to go away.
It's not going to go away.
I never really had the accent. I guess our family was like the Beverly Hillbillies because my mother was the baby girl over 20 children. They were born in North Carolina. And then when they were moved off of that sharecropper land, planted in New York, we just kept the Southern. We never really picked up that New York accent.
Yeah.
And so I was born there, and then we migrated, and I've been moving all around. But I came here in '74 in California. I've been here since '74, and most of my children were born here.
Yeah.
But so with that, the acting, what have you been in? Have you just been theater in New York and here, or what?
I started in theater, community theater in Vermont, as a matter of fact. So before we went to Vermont. We were here for 10 years, and I was working behind the scenes in television, but always wanted to be an actor, always wanted to do acting. I love it. And so when we went to Vermont, I started acting. There was no, job that I could do behind the scenes in Vermont because it's a much smaller market. And so I started acting, and with the encouragement of my husband, my biggest supporter.
And his name?
His name is Mark.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah, and I started in community theater, and I mean, the first time I went out on stage, I thought, what took me so long?
See, don't you love it?
I know.
This here is like, ooh, it's nothing like that. Even if it's a boo, it's better.
Yeah.
It's that energy of the live audience.
It is.
I love it.
And I just, I feel like I just took to it naturally and felt right at home. And so I did, in over the course of about 7 years, I did about 14 plays. Yeah.
Oh, just to name a few.
I was Charlotte in Charlotte's Web, a wonderful children's story. I was, I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? I was Annie in Annie. I wasn't Annie. I was not Annie, but I was the other character, the assistant to Daddy Warbucks.
You know what?
I cannot remember it. I don't know why. What's going on?
Maybe we could do the female odd couple.
Oh,
you and I.
Sure.
You want to do that?
That'd be
because
great.
when I came out here, my first theater piece was Calpurnia in To Kill a Mockingbird. In Wisconsin, I played Katie in View from the Bridge. They took it from Italian and made it West Indian. And then Amen Corner, I was Odessa. So theater is just my total passion.
Oh,
but I
great.
love the female version of the Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple, yeah. I did that once in a class. I never performed it on stage.
Maybe we could do that.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Of course, I'm going to play the hood part. You can play the proper with the pearls.
Yes.
Yes. You'll be Felicia and I'll be Oscarette.
Right.
But so now with that theater, because I know with my 14 grandchildren and my grandchildren that I use theater to teach my children and also my grandchildren. My kids would say, "Mama, just whoop me." Because every time I would get on them, it would be a come-up play.
Yeah, right.
Just like if they
please,
bring...
no more
wait a
plays.
minute, wait a minute. They would come in and they would say, they would play this music. I said, oh, no. You cannot play this until you act it out. And if you still like that music after you act it out, then you could go ahead and play it. That means you understand it and you're accountable for it. So I acted out one, and they said, "Mama, I'll never listen to that music again." When I acted out licking here and humping and grinding, and Mama, we won't want to play. They got the visual.
Yeah, right.
And I went over the top with the visual.
Yeah.
So as a grandparent now that you're pursuing your dreams, I don't know, what was your profession? Was that your profession, or did you have another profession to pay for your passion?
Well, no, I had my husband to pay for my passion.
Mark? Is that your name? Is that your name, Mark? Who? Okay, can you handle two?
No, I literally. I mean, when we were in Vermont, it was. I did community theater, and some of it paid, but a lot of it did not.
Yeah, 99 seaters and stuff, and fill the house.
Exactly.
Okay.
But when we moved from there, our first stop was San Francisco, and that's when he said, why don't you? What I had done in between there was I went into psychotherapy. So my last couple of years.
Psychotherapy, or you were the therapist?
I was the therapist.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it cut.
Nothing wrong with psychotherapy.
I know.
But yeah, I became a psychotherapist. But by the time we moved to San Francisco, there weren't any jobs left. It was the recession was still happening, and so he said, "Why don't you go into acting as a career?" And I said, "Well, okay, dear, but you realize that I'm not gonna be bringing in any money for a while, And he was fine with that, and still is fine with that. And it's wonderful. So then when we moved back to Southern California, because this is where we started in Southern California, I've gotten an agent, 2 agents, a commercial agent and a theatrical agent, and I've done some TV, a little bit here and there,
Wow! And so, how many kids do you have? have?
Well, between the two of us, we have 5 kids.
5 kids.
Five
Okay.
children, and they have given us 6 grandsons.
No.
Yes. All
So
boys.
out of your 5, you have boys and girls?
We have 1 boy and 4 girls.
Oh, so you were blessed to have
Yeah.
all boys. Ain't it something raising girls difference?
I tell you.
Hallelujah.
Well, see, I only had 1 girl, so I don't know. I don't have the experience really. Although my stepson, he was 9 years old when we got together, his father and I. But everybody that I know who have both a girl and a boy say that the boys were easier.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Drama. Hello. Hallelujah. Yeah, the drama. But now that they're grown and you have your, I think something appeared behind you. Are those?
Yes.
What is that? I think, is this magic?
Yes, those are my 6 grandsons.
Oh my
A couple of them are in
goodness.
there twice, but yes, they range in
With
age.
all of that hair?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
He's the oldest, actually. He's 9. That's Khalil, and he's 9 years old. And then Brendan, on the large picture on the right. Brendan is on the left of that picture. He's 6 now. Cam, his little brother, is 5 now. And then the large picture over here, Taima is. Oh, wait a moment, I forgot.
Over to the right
the little
there.
guy over there to the right, that's Rowan, and he is 5 as well. So the 3 of them that are right next to one another are only about 6 months apart from one another.
So I'm going to take a shot of that, and we're going to, when we air it, they'll get to see that.
Yeah.
But as a grandmother, do you find it way better as a grandparent?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you love
There's
it?
There is nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Nothing
you
like
could
it.
spoil them, and you could do whatever, leave them,
and then
just
send them back.
Yep. Whatever
but
they
let
say.
me just finish naming the last couple of them, though. That Taima and his little brother, Sol, who is 9 months old.
Ah,
Yeah.
Soul.
Sol.
How you spell that?
S-O-L.
Oh,
Like the
not
sun.
Saul, but soul, solar. Okay, like soul.
So
yeah.
that's Brendan and Cameron and Rowan over there, Khalil to the left, and then Taima and Sol. My little guys.
Well, see, what I'm doing as a grandparent, and it tears me because most of my grandchildren are out of state, and that's so hard.
Yeah, several of mine are too. Yeah.
So we're going to be right back after this, and we're going to collect our thoughts and talk about grandparenting.
Okay.
The promotion, the ultimate. Okay. Ha! We're back with the most beautiful grandmother, Sheila Collins, that I've ever seen, and her husband, Mark. Boom. But you know what? Her life didn't start as a grandmother. She has other passions that she's pursuing. She's a counselor. She's an actress. Life does not have to stop when your children are grown. As a matter of fact, for some of us, like me, moving to Africa, this outfit was made by Vivian Q in Africa. The whole thing, skirt and all, Ghana fabric, African seamstress. This is it. This is one of my first pieces made in and produced in Africa. So thank you, Vivian. Thank you. I had to give a shout out there. And then also, I decided when I retired, 66, I'm moving to Africa. Just packing up, moving to Africa. People thought it was an overnight, but it's been a long time dream that I was just able to say, I'm going to do this right now, and it's the perfect time. The perfect time. I thought my time was wrong and I missed it, but it's never too late, people. It is never too
That is true.
late.
That's
now, I want to hear everything you're doing as a grandmother and pursuing your passion. What do you do?
Well, aside from acting, I'd always had a dream. I have an activist background, and so when I look at the African American community and other communities of color where resources are limited, where there's not a lot of access to quality of life, I would sit and think about things that I could do to help that. Now, this I wouldn't want to get paid for, but I also would need a whole lot of money to fund it. But I came up with this idea a long time ago, and it doesn't really have anything to do with acting, but it does have to do with helping people to get on their feet, to have enough space and time to figure out what they want, because when you're going from pillar to post and trying to make it, you don't have time to think, you don't have time to reflect. So this idea that I had was going to combine my love of animals, and I'm also an animal activist, and my desire to bring communities of color, particularly those who are on the lower income spectrum, and vulnerable to gang violence and that sort of thing. So I'd have this thousands of acres of property, and I'd have all these animals that were rescued of all kinds, farm animals and domestic animals, and I would have families from these communities, whoever wanted to come, sign a 5-year contract. They'd come, live on this property, live in their own homes, grow their own food. Their children would learn how to take care of animals and have compassion for animals, and be vegan. This would be a vegan place.
They won't eat the animals.
They will not eat the animals.
They will not eat the animal. They're safe.
And hopefully not eat any animals ever again. But and to learn to be self-sufficient, so that when at the end of that 5 years, having earned money during the course of the time that they were there, they would hopefully be able to start a life where they didn't have to worry about sitting on their front porch and worrying about drive-bys, or mothers wouldn't have to worry about their children being, pulled into gangs because there was nothing else going on. So that's kind of my dream, but that's going to take billions.
You just put it out there in the universe. This is going out on YouTube. This is going out on Twitter. This is going out on Facebook Live. This is going out there. You put it out in the universe, and I was just looking at you. You're glowing, and guess what? I'm getting the chills now. As you were talking about your passion, you turned into like this 20-year-old person. And I noticed that in doing this so long, that when a person is truly, not faking it, talking about their passion, they glow and they lose these years. And you did that.
Wow.
And it looks like you work out too. You're just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Do you?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I walk.
Okay. How many miles a day? Just walk.
I just walk.
You just
about
walk.
30 minutes. About 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, see, and I walk every day that I can with my service dog.
Oh, really?
And rescued from Pasadena Humane Society.
Oh, mine too.
And I have my little Coco. She would normally be here, but I had so much going on today. But basically, that dog helped save my life.
Really?
And people think that you have a little lap dog or a poodle, but this dog is trained to know my emotions. When I get in a slump, it will wake me up and make me walk, even when I didn't feel like walking.
Amazing.
There's times when I couldn't move, and that dog would just jump on me.
Oh, that's
and just be there as my heartbeat. And it's more than some human beings would do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And poodles, they say, are that's one of the smartest breeds. And Coco has just been like, maybe one day we'll just have our conversation here with dog lovers. But some people don't want dogs here or this, and can't believe that this is a registered service dog, and my life has literally been enhanced.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Because of my role dog. And so how many pets do you have? I know you have.
I only have one pet right now.
And what is that?
His name is Bamboo. He's a dog. He's a red-nosed pit bull.
Ooh,
yeah!
I had a pit lab mix.
Did
That's
you?
a beautiful.
Oh,
had a pit body, but a lab coloring.
Our first dog was a pit Doberman mix. He was so cute. He was so cute. People always thought he was a girl.
Did he have the pit body or the?
He had more of the Doberman nose, the pit jaw, but he was.
I have a pit jaw.
No.
Okay.
But he was medium sized, so he wasn't really muscular. My Bamboo is really muscular. He's 70 pounds of pure muscle.
Okay, see.
Yeah, and he's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart, and I adopted him from the Pasadena Humane Society.
Oh yes, they're really strict.
Yeah, and that that's the only way to get a dog. I think they're breeding them too many. Too many are being bred, and they're not enough homes
Chihuahuas,
for them.
they will spay them free. They're shipping them to New York and everything.
Really?
There's overpopulation of Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
You can get them free, get them fixed free, everything.
Yeah.
But I recommend, all of my children were raised with dogs from the time they were little.
Yeah.
And it's just how you raise your children.
Right.
They can't even remember not being with that.
Being with
now,
the dog.
with me, until I got older, I would not even touch a lap dog, a little bitty
Really?
dog.
Oh, okay.
My dogs were huge.
I like
going
big dogs
through
too.
100 pounds of dog food a month, and I had 2.
Right.
But then when I downsized and moved into an apartment, you could only have 10 pounds or less. I said, what is this? And then all of a sudden, you know, started going through service dog training and this, and I said, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I see what Paris Hilton carrying her little purse with her little dog.
It's kind of nice having them with you, something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I can't I'm moving to Africa and I have to train her now to be caged 12 hours because of the flight.
Oh, yes, long flight.
Long flight, you have to do long flight training. We're going through that, the shots. And so it's really hard for me to keep her caged
Yeah.
for 12 hours where she won't relieve herself.
Right.
And then get off when we have our layover. I'm asking for long layovers, like 6 hours
Right.
or 8 hours,
Give
so
her
she
a
can
break.
stress
Yeah.
and not feeding her. So, you know, it's kind of like they become like your little children.
Oh, they do. They
Yeah.
do. They're family members. And you know, animals have such a deep well of compassion, and not just domestic animals, farm animals. They have such a deep well of compassion and love and caring and emotional lives, and they're sentient beings. And it's because I think it's so much more obvious in them because they don't have all the stuff that we have that gets in the way, right?
People, I can't make this up. I just met her in this hot seat. Who's the producer, Jesse?
Jesse Estevez.
And what's the name of the show?
I'm not sure exactly what the name of the show is, but it's an examination of the Latino lifestyles.
And guess what? She thought I was Jesse's show, and I said, "Okay, I'll be Jesse. Sit here." And that just to show you, this was a God sequence. This was meant to be.
Yeah, because I came here on the wrong day.
You got the date wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And the guest that is 98.9% on time and never cancels out didn't show.
There you go.
See, God sequence, karma. You're living right. Look what you get. This smile.
That's very sweet.
This is so amazing that you did this. So you do stay in Pasadena. You've been here, Pasadena, Altadena all year?
Yes, we moved to Pasadena.
93?
Right, and we've been here ever since. I love Pasadena.
And guess what? I formed Smile in 92 with the
that right?
Rodney King incident.
Oh, wow.
And for 10 years, I was in the streets, the homeless, the juveniles, until one of those juveniles came up to me and said, "You need to have this in the schools." Been in the schools since 2002.
That's
Educational surrogate, school programs, Adam Schiff's Woman of the Year, 94.7, The Wave. That's when you know you're doing what you are supposed to do.
Yes, I would love to know more about that.
Educational surrogate, you can use your skills there. I will tell you that. I'm taking this to Ghana. So your 100 acres and all of that land, you got to come visit me.
Okay, I would love to do that.
Definitely.
I would love to do that.
Seriously, think about the female odd couple.
I will.
Yes, and we could bring that African American flair to it.
Man. Bring that flavor.
Hood and Beverly Hills. You know which one I'll be. I ain't got no problem with it. None whatsoever.
That would be
but did you ever look at the original Odd Couple?
Yes, I did. I used to love it. I loved it. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. So what are your plans? I want you, before we run out of time, I want you to give your words of wisdom in your camera, what you have to say to grandmothers, what you have to say for mature, wise queens, whatever you want to say that maybe I left out, because you told me your support system, your motivation, how you're giving back, how you love what you do, and your education. Oh, where did you get your degree?
I got I have 2 degrees, 2 master's degrees. So I have a master's degree in communication from the University of Pennsylvania, Annenberg School for Communication. And I have a master's in psychology and counseling from Goddard College in Vermont.
We're going to have to talk after this.
My husband was president of Vermont, of Goddard College for 7.5 years.
Okay, you know what? This is going to be part 2. This one we thought was an accident, but it's a God sequence. Oh, part 2 is going to be on point. Now, give your words of wisdom. I can't believe this.
Oh, okay. Well, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, hello. I would like to say to anybody out there, particularly to women of a certain age, sometimes we have to put off our dreams. Sometimes we have to put off the things we want to do because we've got other responsibilities that take priority. Don't give up, though. Do it. It's never too late to do what you want to do. As they say, nobody was on their deathbed that said, I just am so sorry that I forget the now I forget the saying, but you know what I mean. You forget, you regret the things that you didn't do much more than the things you did do. And so do those things, follow your dreams, bring your authentic self, model that for your children, model that for your grandchildren. Your grandchildren really look up to you. My grandchildren, the love they give me. It's so gratifying. So that's what I would say.
And what I have to say is if you're not working your purpose, what is your purpose? And she mentioned something, never give up. That's my brother singing that song, the opening and the close, written specifically for Smile. Never give up. So follow your dreams. No matter what, whether you're a wife, a sister, a mother, you're working a job, which is just over broke, never give up your passion. Always work towards that 10,000 hours because that's your gift to the world. I just love this. And how much we are in sync about our degrees, our acting, where we're from.
It was meant to be.
I'm so glad you made a mistake.
Oh, me too. So am I.
So with that, we want to say, share your smile. Share your smile. What's your favorite vegetable, Miss Vegan?
Broccoli.
Too bad I had beef in it. Yeah, I hate to smell it, because it is one of those.
Nah.